guys, I'm Hybrid Fox Kid and welcome back to the Blocks SMP. We are back again in Honeycomb Ridge, and while you guys were away I built another building as well as finishing off the 2 tall flower farm. So there's the peony there and the lilac is just over in that little alleyway. So we officially have all the 2 tall flower farms fully set up and running. So yeah, that's a successful farm we can cross off the list. And this house here is another smallish one, pretty much identical to the villager trading hall, just different window layout, and it will have something a little bit interesting on the side of it once I build the interior up. But yes, today we are going to be working on this house here. In episode, I think it was episode 2, I built up the squid farm to be able to keep supply for my villager trading hall, essentially for emeralds and all my other squid ink needs, which is black dye. But I need a lot of black dye, but I need a lot of squid ink, but I don't think my farm can actually keep up with the amount of emeralds I actually need. So this area here is going to be used for another farm, which is going to be also fueling my villager trading hall, which is gonna be melons and pumpkins. So here's the thing, I know the general gist of a melon and pumpkin farm. I've never built one though, so I'm gonna try something new today, not look at a tutorial, and just try and build it off memory. I might regret this, but it's gonna be interesting. Okay, so I think I've got the track done, and I think I have them correctly, so if I push this, it should do a complete loop and not stop. Well, I can hope for the best at least. And we're making progress. I forgot to put powered rails there. Well, that was a bit of a mess up. Okay, let's quickly replace this with powered rails. And there we go. It did make the track the first time, but just to make sure it keeps its speed and doesn't have a chance of stopping. And there we go, not bad. So we've got one part of the project done. It's just a matter of me getting through the rest of it without messing any of it up, which is honestly easier said than done. Okay, so the grass is in, and I'm pretty sure all I need to do is just place a bucket of water somewhere to keep the crops fertilized. So if I do that, that should be fine, everything should be fine, and nothing should be dead. Okay, that's good, and now we just gotta plan out where we're actually gonna put the crops. And as you can see, it is a relatively small area of farmland, but this is gonna be loaded 99% of the time, so I don't really necessarily have to worry about it being in unloaded chunks and stuff like that. So this is gonna be going off pretty much 24/7. Okay, so the water should be able to reach all of that. I have no clue, we'll wait and see on that one. We gotta add a light source to make sure our crops will actually grow. I think that's how it works. The water's fine because the farmland is still getting fertilized. Great. Okay, so let's make the first one our melon farm. So let's place all of these seeds. Make sure these guys can grow nice and strong. There we go, we got that all planted, and now it's just a matter of placing down the pistons. And I think the pistons, you do it they're supposed to be above the grass block. So not like that. Oh, is this gonna be difficult? Like that. They gotta be like that above this block, and I'm pretty sure a 1 block gap is all you need. So if I just keep repeating the pattern like this, it should be fine. I hope so. I really hope I've got this right so far. And there we go. I think I've got every single piston in place. I'm not sure if I missed anything. Oh, yep, I did miss one. He goes there. There we go. Now I think I have every piston in place. Okay, time for the observers, which should be a lot easier than the pistons because I can just place them here, can't I? If I place them there, I can actually get them to face the right orientation. But for some reason, they like spawning right next to the chute. And I keep destroying the chutes. Oh, joyous day. I never said this farm was going to be hybrid proof though, so there's always that. Okay, there we go. All the observers are now in, and now here's where things get tricky. I gotta place the redstone down, and I don't exactly know which one you're supposed to put the redstone on. A part of me thinks I'm going to use my very limited redstone knowledge. It is incredibly limited, so do not take this to heart. I think you're supposed to put it on the observers and turn it to that one, because when an observer activates, it will activate the redstone, and then the redstone will activate all the pistons around it. Oh, I have no idea. I genuinely have no clue. Okay, new plan. This side has the redstone on the observers, and this side has the redstone on the pistons. So whatever one has fruit growing on the other side is the wrong one. So it looks like we're just gonna have to wait and see for this one to activate. Oh, there we go. Something happened. Okay, it turns out I had those wrong. But it looks like this side is correct. Turned out you are supposed to put the redstone in the little cross tiles, so it's not supposed to be a dot. It wasn't activating but now it's fully activating, but only on this side, so we've got it confirmed it is in fact on the observers and not on the pistons. And let's also send off this minecart so I'm not losing melons as we go. There we go, that should do a full loop and it should be fine. And it should drop some melons in there. Perfect, okay. So that's looking good, and that is essentially our first layer of the melon and pumpkin farm. And we're going to be repeating the entire thing and popping a second layer up here for the pumpkins. So, should be pretty quick, should be pretty simple. I know how this farm works now. We now have a fully functioning melon and pumpkin farm, both running very, very fast, but not exactly efficient, but that's all gonna come in due time. But yeah, while I was building the pumpkin farm, I've already got this many melons, so I gotta say, this farm is stupidly fast. Like, I didn't realize how fast pumpkins and melons actually grew. Turns out it's very fast, so that's just my pumpkins as well. They're not fully grown, so they won't be producing anything just yet. So now it's just time for me to decorate the place, really, and I'm thinking of maybe having both the railway area and this area visible. If we just put light stained glass on this area here, leave that blank so I can open the chest, and then across here, and then do something like this, and then if I just encase it like that, one, it will stop the melons from popping out like you saw before, and you'll also be able to see all the melons being spawned, and not so much the pumpkins because they're very high up, so you can't see anything from up there anyway. So now it's just a matter of actually decorating around the glass, so that's a little bit more trickier. It's kind of difficult getting this entire farm into the camera because it is pretty big and this room is kind of tiny. So here it is. This is the final result of the farm, all decorated and looking rather nice, if I do say so myself. So while I was building this up, I've got a fair amount of melons already and a fair amount of pumpkin. And yes, I didn't make a second story. I tried my best, but it was just way too cramped, so I opted out for scaffolding and made a makeshift ladder up to the chest up there, so I think that worked out rather well. So yeah, this is my melon and pumpkin farm done, but there is something on the outside I want to do, kind of tying in these two little things that are just sticking out of each of the farms. So if we go outside and look at the wall, I have already dug out holes where those pipes will be leading to. So essentially what my idea is have a pipe that's got melons going through it, and going into like a big storage silo that's under the ground. And the same with the pumpkins. So it's kind of like a pumpkin and a melon storage, but it's not really sanitary because it's out in the open, but it doesn't matter. It's Minecraft, we can do whatever we want. I think it's gonna look cute, so let's just get started into a time lapse and see where this goes, because not gonna lie, I have no idea how I'm gonna design this. So this quick time lapse is pretty much me building the very unsanitary storage silos for the melon and pumpkin farm, and also me brushing off the armor stand book because I kind of discovered that I haven't bought any mini blocks from either of the traveling merchants, so I had no melons or pumpkin mini blocks. So when you don't have either of them, the best thing you can do is armor stand. They save your life. Best book ever. Our very unsanitary melon and pumpkin storage is now complete. There we go! It doesn't look half bad, and it kind of ties this building all together. I kind of like it, I think it's cute. And what I really love is I love the tiny melons. Look at the tiny melons, they're so cute. Yeah, armor stands really save the day when you don't have mini blocks, but I've harped on about that one enough. But I gotta say, after doing just a tiny bit of AFKing, I've come to the conclusion that this farm is very, very efficient for the size of it. It's a very, very small farm, and it is pumping out melons and pumpkins like at a stupidly fast rate. So I think we're going to be overflowing pretty soon, which is kind of scary to think about. But minus the demise of my area due to overflowing melons and pumpkins, we're going to be moving on to another task for the day. So going from the melon and pumpkin farm and going on to something a little more hybrid, more buildy, less redstoney, which I always enjoy, we're going to be decorating this middle section here, and we're finally going to be placing an operational trolley tram on the tracks. I don't really know where I want to put it. I'm probably debating somewhere around this later area here, so just here, where it won't really block any buildings, and so it won't really get obscured by anything or be too noisy. So I think this is probably the best area I can choose. I kind of want to leave this place open here because I really like the look of it. So yeah, I think over there is going to be the best bet for me. So now it's just time to get that design and plonk it over here and get ourselves a second trolley tram. One more block and the little trolley tram is done. Oh, close the door. There we go. So now we officially have a trolley tram in our little area, And I gotta say, it really matches. I was kind of worried that the orange was gonna be too overpowered with this being in this area and not just outside, but I think it kind of looks nice. As long as I don't have too many orange buildings a little bit further on right next to it, it should look rather fine. Well, that's what I hope for at least, but I kind of like it so far. Now it's just time to connect the train to a power line. So I gotta get a power line going all the way across and connecting to that little node there. So I gotta get that done as well. And what I also gotta do is I gotta actually connect the floor to the power line as well. So that can't be floating either. When I was originally designing this, I thought it was a good idea to only have one trolley tram going back and forth. And now that I look back at it, it kind of doesn't make any sense, which is a bit of a pain because I'm this far in and I can't change any of it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to push the mountain back like 6 or 7 blocks. And I am not redoing all of this. No way. So I've found a little solution around it, which I'll probably reveal a little bit later once I get a little bit more of the area done. But for now, we're going to be building the power line as well as the power line poles that are going to go on each individual side, because usually on normal trains, they run in the middle where the two trains cross either path. So I have to be a little bit creative, but I think I kind of like the design I have going. Who saw the train tracks and instantly thought I was going to use chains? Because you were right, I plan to use chains for this. And that is a lot of iron without an iron farm, so this is going to be fun. So now it's time to fully line the base with chains, which have terrible hitboxes, and I'm going to be placing them absolutely everywhere. There we go, the chains are all done, and yeah, I'm not the neatest block placer, so I've got to go back up and take down all of these stray chains. Okay, so the horizontal chain is done. Now I just got to find a way to connect the chain to the actual trolley tram and make it look decent. I don't know why, but the first thing that comes to my head is an anvil. Let's try it. The answer is no to the anvil. Okay, so hear me out. This may be a weird suggestion, but I did have to look up on the internet. I had a little browse of Google, and I saw people using saw blades as a transmitter, or like something that connects the wires together, because the hitbox is very close to the one of the chain. The chain's just a few pixels too high, or like a single pixel high, but it really looks like it matches, and I kind of like the look of it. It kind of breaks up like the deep slate, the darkness with like a nice bright color, so I think I kind of like that. We'll just ignore that there's a spinning blade on top. Yeah, we'll ignore that. Okay, so now we got to build up the power poles that actually run this train and keep this chain up. So let's get onto that. This one, I don't necessarily have a design. I'm just gonna throw things together and see what sticks. And I think I may have settled on a design for my power poles. We went with normal stone because I gotta calm down on the deep slate and the black stone a little bit. It's getting a little bit overrun in my area. We need a little bit of different colors, and I thought a lighter grey would look nice in the middle area and lead the darker greys to the outer areas, the walkways and all that. Okay, so let's get these all set up. So the first problem I gotta do is how far apart do I want to set out these guys? Maybe 25 blocks apart? That looks like a good number. It's a fair distance. I don't want to clutter it too much, so the further apart, probably the better. Yep, I think 25 is a good number. So we have the one power pole there, one there, one there, one just over there, and a little bit further that my track doesn't go to just yet. So it's a nice even spread, I think. If it does feel a little bit cluttered, I might spread it out just a tad bit more, but we'll build them up, see how it looks, and see how that goes. Yep, I think I really, really like the look of this. Oh, this has tied the base together so well. Oh, it looks so nice. And yeah, it was originally acacia wood up here, but I decided to change it to jungle just to tone down the colors just a tad. I kind of like it. I think it looks nice. But yes, this little rail track has added so much depth to my area, and it makes it feel so much more full now. It is really getting together. This base is slowly but surely definitely coming together. I gotta say, out of the bases I've built throughout my time playing Minecraft, with the very short amount of time I have, I gotta say, this one has already stolen my heart as my favorite. I love it. I love it a lot. Okay, instead of gushing too much, let's move on to the next project for the day, and that is actually making a banner for this place. And I think I had the perfect design, and I think you guys are gonna like it. But before I do anything with the banner design, I actually gotta make the crafting table first. I don't actually remember how looms are made. I'm pretty sure it's just 2 string. Gee, this is really showing my Minecraft knowledge. There we go. We've made a loom. Perfect. Now it's time to make the banner. Okay, so we have our banner and we also have the die. Let's see if I can get this first shot. I know how I want the design to look. So like that. And then if I pop him back in, and then I don't know if I want light grey or dark grey. I think light grey might look a bit better. Yes, definitely. Yeah. And we do that, and then we plonk this down. It looks like one of our honeycomb notches in our mountain. So kind of like that. There we go. So that's our banner for Honeycomb Ridge, and I'm just going to be placing this around the base, here, there, and everywhere, every now and then, just to add a little bit more colour to the area and a little bit more orange. So I think it looks nice, and I might actually chuck like a little sign up the front saying like, "Welcome to Honeycomb Ridge, you are here." So yeah, I think I like the design. Yeah, that definitely matches. Don't take notice that there's still yellow concrete in the mountain. Turns out a manual bee farm isn't the best. But with Honeycomb Ridge getting its banner, I think that's where I'm going to have to leave this episode for today. I have done so many things today and I've kind of ran out of time. We had a lot of stuff to do. But every other thing that we had planned for today, I'm going to roll into the next episode. So the next episode we'll be doing plenty of things as well and being just as productive as today. But yes, with that, I'm going to leave this episode here. If you guys liked the video, give the video a thumbs up and maybe subscribe if you want to stick around. All good, I'll see you guys next time. See ya!